Now on CBC Vancouver News.
I see this as a positive evolution in the federal position.
Another pipeline to BC's south coast? Provincial politicians consider that idea amid concerns about resources, the environment, and Indigenous rights. Plus,
if we have a hot summer, no rain, we're going to have to irrigate.
Hoping for spring showers. Okanagan fruit growers eye the sky after a dry winter. And
we have seen a reduction, which means less dollars.
A drop in international students has one of BC's largest school districts considering cuts.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Dan Burritt. Thanks for joining us. We start with a Globe and Mail report that says the federal government is eyeing a new pipeline route from Alberta to BC's south coast, bypassing the controversy over a proposed route to the north. Jessica Chung has more from Victoria.
The controversial proposal for an Alberta to BC pipeline may potentially take a different route. According to the Globe and Mail, the federal government is eyeing a new route through BC's south.
And I see this as a positive evolution in the federal position.
The Globe is reporting that two federal sources say the route would run through southern BC to the port of Vancouver, either alongside the Trans Mountain Pipeline or another path. And that's instead of the northern route that Alberta's government has been pushing for. BC's climate minister says he's open to a conversation with Ottawa, but says the idea was not brought to the province directly.
What I'm saying to the federal government is if this is the reflection of where they want to go, then I'd say their first call is with us.
An MOU signed in November between Prime Minister Mark Carney and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith came with a framework for a new pipeline to the Pacific, but it didn't say what path the pipeline would take. The opposition leader says the province needs another pipeline, and fast.
I think we have to expedite those conversations given the state of the world right now, what we're seeing with energy prices, and we have to be self-reliant. And right now, we are clearly not.
While the federal sources say the new route would have a smaller environmental impact, one expert says both options have significant risks.
You will be more than doubling the tanker traffic for a new pipeline, and that is a congested area for ship traffic.
For First Nations leaders, they say their communities will bear most of the impact of either pipeline route.
A lot of the risk that is taken on terms of pipelines goes through First Nations territories here in British Columbia, and we need to be consulted, accommodated, and free, prior, and informed consent needs to be lived up to.
In a statement, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith didn't rule out a southern route and said she is evaluating all possible options. Now, she says the province is submitting a pipeline plan to the Major Projects Office by June. Jessica Chung, CBC News, Victoria.
The Peace River Regional District has ordered people living in the Old Fort area to leave their homes after a landslide they say could create a significant risk to life. The region coordinated an evacuation Monday night just south of Fort St. John, but say there's no safe road access in or out. It notes people left safely, but says others may still be in that area. The regional district is urging those still there to stay in a safe space and avoid the landslide area. Emergency services may also be limited. RCMP and Merritt were forced to shut down part of the Coquihalla Highway after a semi-trailer truck caught fire and ignited a small wildfire.
Apparently we're about 20 minutes out of Merritt. We're waiting for fire trucks.
Police say it happened near the Coldwater exit around 9 p.m. on Monday. This video sent to CBC News shows the fire igniting the trees on the right shoulder. Mounties say no one was hurt and BC wildfire crews were able to contain the blaze. It's not yet clear what sparked the fire. A Drive BC post says toxic material was also spilled. Fewer students are expected to attend Vancouver's public schools this year, and that could lead to cuts. As Pinky Wong explains, the school board says a drop in international enrollment is part of the challenge.
More than 51,000 students attend Vancouver public schools, but this year the district estimates 330 fewer students will be in classrooms. Most of them are international students who pay $17,000 a year to attend.
We have seen a reduction, which means less dollars, so we've had to accommodate and acknowledge that in the balanced budget this year.
Young points to cuts in federal immigration.
International students bring incredible culture and diversity and lived experience to our schools. Having a reduction in international students, I think, is not ideal.
With less revenue, the district is considering cuts. That may include laying off 3 school and student support workers at Britannia and David Thompson secondary schools. They help at-risk youth who need social-emotional support.
We know that mental health is a very important issue that is affecting our schools these days, and we can't continue to make cuts in that. They're little cuts, but there are cuts that are very, detrimental to some of our most disadvantaged and children who need help.
A district librarian may also be let go. BC's Education Ministry acknowledges many school districts are facing a drop in international enrollment. But Ma argues the provincial government also plays a role.
The province isn't helping either because they have actually frozen funding, education funding across the province. So districts are being asked to do more with less.
Trustees will vote on the draft financial plan next week. Pinky Wong, CBC News, Vancouver.
Almost a year after the deadly Lapu Lapu Day attack in Vancouver that killed 11 people and injured dozens more, there's little progress in the province's review of the Mental Health Act. Emily Fagan has more from Victoria.
BC's been putting involuntary care at the forefront of how it responds to mental health and addictions issues in this province. I talked to several people in the mental health field and also a person who's experienced involuntary care firsthand, and they all said that the legislation needs to be reevaluated with a focus on patient rights and safety. Some of the people I talked to, including health advocacy group Health Justice and BC Green MLA Jeremy Valeriot, pointed out that parts of this legislation haven't been updated since it was first introduced in 1964, which is obviously a very different time for mental health. Health Justice released recommendations for how they say the review should be framed, including they think it should be independent from the government. They also said other people I talked to said BC's law needs to be brought in line with others across Canada, which allow for things like a trusted loved one to make decisions for individuals who can't care for themselves. The implementation of the Mental Health Act has also fallen under fire in recent years, including by the Office of the Ombudsperson in BC, which has reported on a lack of safeguards for patients who are involuntarily detained. I asked for an interview with the Minister of Health, Josie Osborne, to find that out, but unfortunately both she and Dr. Vigo, who the Premier said last year would be involved in the review, were unavailable. But in a statement the Ministry of Health provided, they said there's still no timeline or scope for the review. The ministry didn't say what's causing this delay beyond that BC is awaiting the outcome of a charter challenge to the Mental Health Act, and the ministry said they'll have more to say on this soon.
Emily Fagan reporting. If you feel like you aren't getting enough steps in, Nature's Stairmaster has reopened. Amelia John has more from the Grouse Grind.
A lot of excitement. It is opening day. A lot of bugs out as well this morning. This is a bit unusual this year because the Grouse Grind was actually open for about 2 weeks in February earlier this year because we saw such a mild winter on the south coast. But the snow did return. The grind has been closed since then as officials do some annual maintenance. But a lot of excitement from some hardcore hikers here. I don't know if you'd call them grinders, but we've been trying to get some advice from them for first-timers. They say the biggest thing is to be well prepared.
Don't take it lightly if you're not in shape, and take some water, and but do some stairs.
First-timer, take it easy. Don't push too hard. Make sure you drink enough water.
Just do it. Then it's just, a lot of people are like, worried it's too hard, but I've seen the 2-year-old do it. I've seen the 80-year-old do it. I think it's for everyone.
Right, about 300,000 hikers are expected to take this trek this year, but because of so many popular things happening in town this year, even more visitors are expected this summer because of the World Cup.
Amelia John at the base of the Grouse Grind. Researchers have finally identified the origins of a roughly 77-million-year-old dinosaur bone found on Denman Island almost 3 decades ago. They say it's pivotal to understanding which animals roamed our prehistoric land.
One of my colleagues, he found this little bone back in 1999, and at that time did recognize that it was from a dinosaur. It's actually been on display at the Royal BC Museum for a few years, but it hasn't ever sort of been formally scientifically described and identified. He was pretty sure that it came from a type of dinosaur called an ornithomimid or an ostrich mimic dinosaur. Now, altogether, we've sort of gone through the technical work of being like, yes, we're really sure this is what it's from and this is why. And here's what it means for understanding dinosaur bone discoveries on Vancouver Island. I think this is really cool because this is actually one of the first and so far only dinosaur bone occurrences on Vancouver Island. It's from Denman Island, but from sort of Vancouver Island and the Gulf Islands. They're very, very rare. So we think that it would have come to the east from what was sort of mainland North America at that time. We can't say exactly where, but it would have been somewhere in sort of the vicinity of where British Columbia is right now. I think it speaks to how interesting and impressive the fossil record of British Columbia is, and also especially on Vancouver Island. The Nanaimo group is extremely fossil rich. If you live on the island and you spend any time sort of on the east side of the island, you've probably come across areas that have fossils or maybe even found fossils yourself. Dinosaur bones, super, super rare. But there have been some other really amazing discoveries of animals that people might think are dinosaurs, but are actually dinosaur cousins. Things like our provincial fossil, the Traskasaura, that was named last year by my colleagues at the Courtney District Museum. But yeah, so this really just adds another piece to understanding sort of British Columbia's ancient past and sort of filling in like little puzzle pieces about what was going on land while we've got these marine records on the island.
Warmer temperatures have now arrived in the North Okanagan, and with that, fears of another dry summer. As the CBC's Jacqueline Gelano shows us, fruit growers are anxious for spring showers after a winter of drought.
Things are looking pretty good here at the Peterson Orchard in Salmon Arm. The apple trees are already budding out and the cherry trees are days away from blossoming.
This is a fairly new block of cherries.
Alan Peterson, the owner of Peterson Orchard, is keeping a close eye on soil moisture after an unseasonably dry winter.
There's be very little water went into the soil over the winter or in the spring, so we'll be entirely dependent on the spring rains.
Agriculture Canada says the Okanagan-Shuswap region is in a drought. The southern interior, including parts of the Thompson, Okanagan, and Kootenays, received less than 40% of the normal precipitation this winter. Sukhdeep Brar is the president of the BC Fruit Growers Association. On his Summerland farm, the trees are already in full bloom. And he's thrilled to see the flowers after weathering difficult growing conditions and near total crop failures in recent years.
The last few days have been extremely beautiful weather. It's kind of a change of mindset for growers out here to give us something to actually look forward to over the last few years where it's been very difficult.
Despite the blooms, he's wary of water needs and the high cost of irrigation.
If we have a hot summer, no rain, we're going to have to irrigate. That's the only way we can produce a quality product.
Brar wants to see the province and regional governments ensure farmers get affordable access to water, even when watering quotas come into effect.
It doesn't matter if cherries, peaches, blueberries, we should be prioritized above some other industries that maybe don't use the water as effectively to grow actual food.
Despite drought concerns, fruit tree buds back in Salmon Arm are looking promising.
It won't be a bumper crop like last year, but it won't be a disaster like a few years ago either.
Well, this year likely won't break any records. It is looking like it'll be a strong harvest. Jacqueline Gelano, CBC News, Salmon Arm.
Darius Madavi here with the first look at the weather, sir.
All right, so I know this says Metro Vancouver. That is accurate, but this is also the case into the Fraser Valley, parts of the Sea to Sky, and for the more southern sections of Vancouver Island. Generally, still a couple showers popping up through this evening and into the overnight hours, but tapering off through the night. Temperatures hovering around 12 degrees into tomorrow morning. And then we do start to see that clearing. That will be the prevalent weather throughout the rest of the week. I expect to see lots more sunshine. Unfortunately, coming a little bit too late. We're going to talk more about this later in the show, Dan, but there's a meteor shower tonight. And unfortunately, for many folks in the south, not looking great to see it.
Okay, thanks, Darius.
Thank you.
We're learning more about the shooting at a tourist hotspot in Mexico that's left a Canadian woman dead. That story's next. Authorities in Mexico are sharing new details about that mass shooting at the Teotihuacan pyramids on Monday. The attack left a Canadian woman dead and at least 13 others wounded, including another Canadian. Jorge Barrera has more from the scene.
Behind me is the Pyramid of the Moon. That is where the tragic events on Monday unfolded. Now, there is still a large presence of National Guards here on the scene, which is being blocked off from public access. We are learning more about the gunman behind Monday's tragedy. His name is Julio Cesar Haas Ramirez, 27, a citizen of Mexico City, and authorities revealed that he acted alone, and they said that he was involved in what they called a copycat killing, similar to events in the U.S. with lone shooters, and that they said that they found literature documents referencing the Columbine shooting in April 20th, 1999 in his backpack. Authorities say that he was armed with a .38 Smith & Wesson revolver. He had over 50 bullets in a bag, and over 20 shell casings were found on the scene. In the end, there were 13 injured, 7 from gunshot wounds, including a 29-year-old Canadian woman. Federal authorities said her name was Delisha Lee de Young. And what we also learned today is that the gunman took his own life after an exchange with National Guard troops. We also know that the Federal Chamber of Deputies, the lower house here in Mexico, held a minute of silence in honor of the victims of Monday's tragedies, which occurred behind me. Jorge Barrera, CBC News, at the Teotihuacan Archaeological Site in Mexico.
With the trade war between Canada and the U.S. dragging on, Prime Minister Mark Carney has now unveiled a new advisory council to help. The CBC's Ashley Burke explains who he's bringing to the table and why they're being assembled now.
The Prime Minister revamping a committee, advising him on how best to deal with Donald Trump, his tariffs, and threats.
It's a diverse group, leaders from the union movement, experts in industry, and CEOs in finance and across the economy.
Mark Carney dropping a series of Trudeau-era members and replacing them with his own picks as Canada prepares to review North America's Free Trade Pact.
I think it'll help our negotiations and it'll help the government of Canada be informed.
Carney bringing on the president of Dofasco, a steel company hit with American tariffs, the head of TC Energy, and CEO of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce.
What business needs is some short-term certainty alongside some long-term clarity on the relationship.
The Prime Minister also reaching across party lines, appointing the Conservatives' former leader Aaron O'Toole and Deputy Leader Lisa Raitt.
I'm always the one that wants to keep working through issues and continue to talk, but Mr. Trump is the one that has to agree to be at the table as well. I can't do anything to control what he does or doesn't do, but I can prepare our Prime Minister with the best information I can give.
After that news broke, Poilievre unexpectedly appeared outside a Liberal cabinet meeting to talk to journalists.
What do you think of Aaron O'Toole being on this council?
It's great. At the end of the day, though, what we need is action.
The Conservative leader accusing Carney of doing nothing but stoking fear about Trump rather than making him drop his tariffs.
He hasn't held negotiations in 5 months. The Mexicans are going to be at the table formally with the Americans any day.
Mexico expects formal trade talks to start with the U.S. next month, but Canada doesn't have a date.
We want things to progress. Obviously, it's an important relationship for both the United States of America and Canada.
The government is under pressure to show signs it's making progress after the U.S. Commerce Secretary last week said that Canada's plan to try and wait out the U.S. to reach a better deal is the worst strategy he's ever heard of, adding they suck. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
Pleasant day for a morning paddle in Deep Cove. There's been a chance of rain, but there is more sun to come in our forecast. Darius has your full provincial picture coming up.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox.
Join CBC and the Canadian Mental Health Association, BC Division, for the Compassionate Minds Luncheon. On May 6, hear from a dynamic panel on why early intervention matters. Tickets at bc.cmha.ca. And on May 12, join CBC's Benit Brach at Surrey's Top 25 Under 25, an awards reception honoring the remarkable achievements of Surrey's top young leaders. Tickets at swrbot.com.
Darius Madavi, our science and climate specialist, here with the BC-wide weather forecast. But first, we're going to look up, way up.
That's right,
There's
Dan.
a reference for you kids.
Yeah, we're talking meteor shower today. The Lyrid meteor shower always happens around this time of the year, and you could see as many as 20 shooting stars, meteors, tonight at the peak, which is the best time to watch, just after midnight until just before dawn. The moon will have set. Nice dark skies. Don't look at your screen. This is a photo taken aboard the International Space Station by an astronaut during the Lyrid meteor shower in April 2012. You can see one streak there. It could be a pretty good show if you're lucky enough to have clear skies. The cause of the meteor shower is when Earth passes through the trail of debris left by the comet Thatcher. This is a very irregular comet. It is currently out beyond the orbit of Pluto. Very different plane, but well out beyond that, 16 billion kilometers away from the sun, and takes about 415 years to complete an orbit. So the debris that we're passing through as the Earth continues its orbit into the path of the orbit, left behind here at least 165 years ago, probably even further back than that. So pretty incredible stuff. Look, east-northeast tonight if you have clear skies, but unfortunately here in southern BC at least, many folks going to have a fair bit of cloud. Hopefully we'll see it clear out quickly enough overnight that if you're willing to stay up until 2, 3 a.m., you'll get a glimpse, but I wouldn't keep my hopes up too high. We have a ridge of high pressure building in though, so that means sunnier skies on the way. For folks on the coast, temperatures are going to keep climbing. We do have a bit of a fall tomorrow in the south, and then again as we get into Thursday, but temperatures will start to rebound as we get into the weekend. Conditions across the province tomorrow, generally sunny. A few places where we have a little bit of cloud, risk of a thunderstorm up in the Peace region tomorrow as well. In terms of 5-day forecast, Dan, very slight chance of showers early tomorrow morning in Vancouver, and then should clear up and more sunshine on the way.
Looks good. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on CBC for Vancouver News. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, our free app, as well as on YouTube, and of course our website, cbc.ca/BC. Good night.